previous years. Now, it's all repeat, and it's all the same stuff. I mean, every year I use the same material. So you don't need to look at other years unless you want to. So you got 2024, watch those videos. They're going to look just like the 2023 videos, but you can watch them and work through the stuff as often as you want to. You will have class on Monday, but it is a very short class on Monday, and then your exam's Tuesday. I will have office hours on Monday and Tuesday both, but come prepared with some questions. What we'll do right now is, since we started the review yesterday, this is review 2, we'll just work through a few more. We don't have much time to get as much done as we can. So we're ready for number 10. Remember, if it's on the review sheet, it's on the exam. Remember also that if you pass the exam, you pass the course. So those of you in Fville, study your little butts off, know how to do every problem in the review, and you'll pass the exam, and then you'll pass the course. The rest of you, your exam will make a difference in your grade, or can make a difference in your grade. It's 20%. So you might have an A right now, but if you roll off the exam and bomb it, you're not going to end up with an A. Okay, so everybody needs to work and do his best on the exam. There's no need to be stressed about it. Preparation will relieve that stress. This is what's on it. Nothing else. That's it. So study it, practice it, watch those videos, sacrifice a little time this weekend, and study. Okay, what shape is this guy? I have to graph it. What shape is it? It's a parabola. Where's its vertex? How has it been moved? Normal vertexes are right there at the origin. Not this one. What's happened? Left 2 and down 1. Left 2, down 1. And what does that do?
It's going down.
So there you go. There's your picture. Now, this one is another parabola, but this time you are finding the vertex, and it's not as easy as this one. This one is in vertex form, so left 2, down 1. How do I find the vertex of something like that? There's a little formula. Kind of looks like the quadratic, parts of it anyway.
Oh, it's
X equals negative b over 2a. So it uses the same a and b as the quadratic formula does. So we're going to have negative 6 over 6, 2 times 3. So my vertex is where x is negative 1. Good. And how do I find y? Plug it back in up here. So negative 1 squared is 1. So this is 3 minus 6 minus 1. And you'll have a baby calculator, but yeah, make sure you're typing it in. Type it in. So 3 minus 6 minus 1 is negative 4. There is your vertex. Number 12. Same kind of situation, only you are going to build the equation. So we're starting with y equals x squared. Okay? But here's what you're going to do with it. You're going to move it left 2. How do we do that? How do we move it left 2? Parentheses x plus 2. What if I take my parabola and go left 2? A vertical stretch by 3. So in other words, we're not moving it 3, we're stretching it. Anybody remember how to do that? Well, you actually multiply, but yeah, it's not an addition, it's a multiplication. That's your vertical stretch. This number, back in chapter 2 when we talked about it in 1, maybe chapter 1, we talked about height. This is your height number, your vertical stretch. And then we want to shift it. Now that means physically pick it up. We want to shift it down 1. Minus 1 on the end. So there is your equation. Number 13. I don't know why, but I remember in past years this question has caused some grief. It's very, what does decreasing mean? Going down, right? So let's look at our graph. What parts of the graph are going down? The first part and the last part. You're agree with me? Going left to right? Okay. The answer to the question is the x values where we're going down. So look at the x's. What are the x's for the first piece of the graph? -3 to -1. So it says, what are the intervals? Well, -3 to -1. Remember, when it says intervals, we're talking about the x's. We're moving from left to right. So that first piece, going from -3 to -1, is going down. What is the other piece where we're going down? 1 to 4. Yep. And then if we had wanted, where is it increasing, that would be from -1 to 1. Okay, so you're going left to right, x values. All right, number 14. What are the x-intercepts of this equation? Now, do not let the vocabulary scare you. What do we mean by x-intercepts? These, right? So look at your equation. It's already factored for you. Where are we going to put the dots? Where do the dots go? At the x's, and that would be -1 and 3. All right, so nobody's confused by that. The x-intercepts are -1 and 3. At what point does the curve just touch or bounce on the x-axis? Well, look at your equation. It is a cubic equation, right? Which means it starts down here. 1, 2, 3, 3 x's, cubic equation. Now, what does it do when it hits that -1? It bounces. And then it connects and it goes on through. So the question says, at what point does the curve just touch the x-axis? -1. Because that's where you are squared.
So would you just write in order x equals?
It says at what point, so you would say -1, 0. Okay, 15, inverse. Does anybody remember the steps to finding the inverse?
You flip X and Y.
Yep, so x equals -2y plus 3. And then what?
You solve it.
Yep, get y by itself, so subtract 3 and divide by -2. So that is your inverse. And when you're in inverse, we use this notation. Not a big deal, but that is the correct notation. 16, when we say exponent form, we mean loop-de-loo it. What would be the loop-de-loo form of number 16? E to the x equals 16. There you go. All right, I'll see you Monday. Get in that missing loop if you have any. Some of the tests are graded in already, not all of them obviously.